Right.
I want to meet the brewer who put a sleeve of Thin Mint cookies in a stout and then was like, it's too minty, and punched that guy in the face. In this episode of Chop and Brew, we're celebrating the season. Girl Scout cookie season, that is, with a pint of Thin Mint Stout. An amped up rye Irish stout brewed with crushed Thin Mint cookies in the mash and a quick conditioning for a wonderful chocolatey minty treat just for grown-ups. This Homebrew Tasting Notes video is brought to you as always with support from Imperial Yeast. I definitely suggest throwing their Darkness strain at a brew like this. More info at imperialyeast.com. And our Patreon party people! Join them in keeping the show minty fresh at patreon.com/chopandbrew. All right, everybody. It's a Chop and Brew tasting note. We got another Illa Thrilla, and this one is crazy. Everybody, cheers.
Cheers.
Glass of the dark stuff. Bam. Paul, what the hell are we drinking, man? Why does it smell like dessert?
Well, it's actually based on the Mashmaker Rye Irish Stout. I added Thin Mints to the mash and post-fermentation.
Show us the goods, Paul Illa.
Thin Mints!
Thin Mints!
Support your local Girl Scouts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So talk us through it, because I'm interested. You said the mash and post.
So, yeah, I basically took 2 sleeves of Thin Mints and just kind of, roughly broke them up in the sleeve itself, and then I dumped them right into the mash. And I don't know. I mean, I thought, what the hell? I mean, it's homebrew, right?
That's crazy. So chocolate melted in there and just all the oils and everything?
Everything.
You crush them first?
Well, I mean, I just kind of mashed them up a little bit, but I didn't really, hit them with a hammer or anything. I just tossed them in there. I didn't really want it to be real, mushy because I didn't want to stick the mash,
I'm just lost for words with putting cookies in the mash.
Amazing, dude.
And then the post cookies look like what? Same thing? Bust up a sleeve?
Yeah, and I just kind of broke them up, and I used a muslin bag, and I tossed them in the muslin bag and then set them on top. And I'll tell you what, man, it looked gross. I mean, when you put that muslin bag in there, it just soaked it all up. But it started fermenting. I mean, it was like all of a sudden I started seeing bubbles again. I mean, some of that is from nucleation, so some of the CO2 is coming out. But at the same time, it was definitely fermenting. But I only left it in for 2 days. I mean, I took a sample after a day, and I was like, it's there. But then after 2 days, I'm like, whoa, I got to stop this now. I got to get this into a keg.
Did you cold crash it to get a dropout, or did you just rack with a bag over or something?
Well, it was in a muslin bag, so I didn't really I didn't have to worry about it being in the actual beer so much.
So knowing what it tastes like before you did that post, is most of what we're tasting from that tea bag cookies?
100%.
Oh, okay, so the mash wasn't really...
I took a still sample before I actually added the cookies, and that I think I told you this, is that I almost thought about not adding any cookies because it tasted so good the way it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm going to go for it because this is what I had planned on doing from the start. So we went for it.
How do you come up with that plan, though? Planned it from the start. This sounds like a mistake that went well, but
I don't know. I mean, when you're bored, but I think it was something I always intended on doing, and then I kind of, I'm like, I'm going to go through the Mashmaker book and see if there's something in there, and then I started reading the article that Dawson had wrote in there, about how there was these wintergreen flavors from the rye, and I'm like, I think this is really a good choice. And at the time when I brewed it, it was right before I went to Mexico, so right before St. Patrick's Day. So all these things, it's even a green box, man. So it all worked together.
Yeah, it tastes like, it's interesting. I'm trying to think in my head how, say somebody wanted to make a nod to a Girl Scout cookie or to a Thin Mint, but not the actual, they'd be doing probably chocolate, they'd be doing mint, maybe even some lactose just to leave some body, but it's this totally taste like that thing.
Right.
It's not an attempt that kind of like is 70% there. This is like, it's impactful.
Yeah, and I think I used some Perla Negra, some chocolate rye, some roasted barley, and then flake rye.
Yeah, I don't like thin mints, but I'm digging this beer.
It's a good chocolate stout with a mint flavor. It's awesome.
Right. It does live up to the cookie, I think.
Oh yeah.
Without overdoing it.
Right. That's why I say if I didn't taste it the second day, because there was that thought in my mind, it's like, well, I'll give it a couple extra days, But I'm like, I better go check. And it really came through, and I'm like, I'm gonna stop.
I'm getting more mint as it warms up.
Yeah.
Come out.
Yeah.
But it's not too much.
No.
And I think there's enough bitterness to balance out that sweetness that's there.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, the chocolate rye, winter greenness. I wonder if the Admiral even has like some kind of like cool herb, cool spicing kind of effect.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the.
I think it's just cookies, dude. It tastes like freaking cookies.
Just cookies.
We're sitting here trying to be like, I wonder what else is making it taste like this. You're like, the cookies.
I need a cookie.
Yeah, I could see
I
this.
got some here for you.
I could see this St. Patrick's Day.
Pass one through the camera.
That'd be hilarious.
Man, I wish I could.
All right, so Illa,
Not too
now
long.
that you've been successful with this one, what other cookies can you play with?
What about the Samoa?
It's interesting that you say that. I had thought about the peanut butter ones with there's 2 peanut butter cookies with the peanut butter in the middle, right?
That's
With
good,
the
yeah.
chocolate malt and the peanut butter cookie, and instead of it being a stout, maybe a little bit more towards porter end.
I like it.
Tim just said
What about the Samoas? The caramel?
Yeah, so, and that would be great for like a Russian imperial stout.
Yeah.
Really thick
That's
and
what-
heavy and caramely. Lots of special bee and see, now you guys have got me thinking.
There's a whole series next year.
Girl Scout
series.
Yeah, Girl Scout series. Each of us
We can tie some Girl Scouts up.
takes a box.
We're going to tie them up. Wait, what?
Each of us. Girl Scout cookie box.
Oh, not the girls. Better wrap it up, Chip. This is about to go off the rails.
Paul Illa, Thin Mint Stout. I'd call that a success for St. Patrick's Day. I honestly think this would be a better Christmas beer, maybe even.
It definitely could be.
So you'd have to buy the cookies and freeze a few sleeves, but man, hold up. Well, there's also like Trader Joe's. Let's not act like there's like not knockoff Thin Mints out there, right?
They're
that are just as good.
Yeah, there's a couple at even Walmart.
We're supporting the Girl Scouts.
All right, the recipe's going to be on chopandbrew.com/recipes. Thanks to Paul Illa for always sharing his secret recipes, not so secret recipes.
Right.
Thin for thin.
Mint for mint.
Mint for mint.
I'm out. God dang it.
Mm.
Delicious.